Hi there, my name is Lisbeth Lundgaard, and this video is about my journey as a reflector. Uh, my attempt to figure out what this thing is about, and it is kind of difficult. I got my. I was told I was a reflector 2.5 years ago, um, and right now it's summer. I'm in Sedona, out in nature, close to the lizards, and it's just great. So 2015 it is now, and um, summer. 2.5 years I've been playing around with this human design. I've never had a reading, never read a clever book on human design, basically just gathering information on the internet. I've tried to figure out who to approach to have a reading, but yeah, nothing really felt right. So my journey has been about watching the lunar cycle, watching, just noticing how I feel, being slow, not working hard as a generator. They can really work hard, it's amazing. But one of the greatest things about getting to know human design, that's also, to me at least, it's been just recognizing that I cannot keep up with a generator. Well, I can keep up and I can be like really fast and work hard, but I'm just worn out. They can go to bed and be fresh the next day. It's so amazing. So a little bit of background. I I work with something called mental health and teach that. It's yeah, you can see a bit about that in my other videos. And I'm a physiotherapist. Been divorced for 5 years, had a husband, got 2 children, and yeah, been struck by life, had my things to deal with. So it's not been an easy journey in my life, and it's still kind of a bumpy ride, but hey, I'm alive and I appreciate that. So, um, first of all, when I got my reading, or not my reading, I was just told I was a reflector. People around me, they just went like, "Oh, it's so great! You're so important, and a reflector, they're so rare, and da da da." That's not right, you know. You shouldn't put anybody on a pedestal like that. There might be not be so many reflectors around, you know, but nobody deserves to be put on a pedestal like that. I'm pretty good at jumping down from it. It's we're just like everybody else, and then still we are like really different. But everybody got their own journey, and it's different in their own way. So I got this John Robson, this great reflector friend, and he once said something about nobody deserves to be put on a pedestal or in a pit. Everybody deserves to be put in the heart, and I think that's kind of neat. Um, yeah, and right now I'm like really uncool with this video thing, so I guess the light isn't really right, and you can't see my eyes. Maybe I haven't really got a clue. Um, yeah, and people they go like, "Oh yeah, those reflector eyes." You know, don't stare too much. It's just awkward. Yeah. Um, and another thing that kind of struck me in human design, that's when human design people do readings on reflectors and not knowing what to say. It's cool not to know, not to have a clue about what you say, but don't take money do a reading and say, well, you're a reflector and I don't really know what to say. That's kind of, you feel like you wasted your money. So just be frank, you know. If you don't know what to say to a reflector, just tell it. Um, don't take their money and give them nothing. That's all. So anyways, yeah, I've really tried to be slow, just feel into the lunar cycle, allegedly, or yeah, we got this lunar cycle to follow, and yeah, things change all the time. And if I decide something, I really, whenever it's possible, uh, I wait at least one lunar cycle to get clear on things. You know, going around the statue, getting all the different perspective of the issue in front of you. And then how does it feel? People, they ask about how does it feel to be a reflector, going around the statue, going around the wheel, uh, experiencing all these different gates. So yeah, and you know, if you ask a fish what it's like to be in water, it's kind of difficult to explain. But yeah, a lot of my journey has been about just getting the birth date times from other people when they felt it was right, and just watch how people navigate being themselves, or navigating through themselves or through their not self, whatever, but just watch how people navigate. And I can see it's totally different. So yeah, I get all these different kinds of views on the world, and it's not like words, it's just feelings. How it's more like how it's a bit like being underwater, you know. If you dive down underwater at the beach, you know, there's different kinds of pulls from the water. So that's kind of a way to describe it. So different feelings. Um, and when you talk to reflectors, most say that you gotta navigate by your disappointment. That's when things are wrong, and your surprise. And to me, I really like the awe better. I'm doing a training with John Martin, this human design guy, and he introduced this awe thing to me. And that's, to me, that's just more useful in a way, because I was in the beginning uncertain about if I was a projector only connected, you know, in the middle gate, in the middle line in between head and Ashna. And I tried just to figure out this disappointment thing, but it just became so mental and I couldn't navigate it. So this thing about awe, when I feel my awe, it's like I'm in a good place. And reflections should apparently be really clear about where to be, what's your right place to be. And when I'm in the right place, it's just good. You know, life is good. Even though there can be hardships and difficult, there's still this, yeah, this is right. So it's kind of like I can have this sense of awe. Um, Even though I'm in a group where there's difficulties, because difficulties isn't necessarily, or challenges isn't necessarily a bad thing, you know. So I really like to navigate. I prefer to navigate by my oar. Yeah, and I know the disappointment, but I guess there's a lot of types. Um, the projector, for instance, that can relate to the disappointment. You know, when you look out to the world, it's kind of interesting, you know, and everything is going so crazy fast. Um, yeah. And the thing about place, find your right place and your awe. Um, I might be wrong. This is just me sharing where I'm at right now. And ask me again in 6 months. I may say something totally different. But place, to me, there's places I don't like to be. Um, so it can be about a physical, geographic place. I really like Sedona here, where I'm at. I really like the red rocks. That's really nice. I went far out to the desert hiking on my own, and that just didn't feel right. I felt like insecure and kind of fearful, and it was really interesting. And I was just spending time out there and just, it's interesting. I don't feel right. I feel insecure, and yeah. So then I went back to the Red Rocks and was just still on my own, and all of a sudden it was like I'm on my own in this forest between the Red Rocks, and I love it here. So I believe there's this thing about place has something to it to a certain degree, but to me, it's also about the people that's in the place. So I can be in the dojo, for instance. I love being in the dojo with the karate people. That's just fun and I love it there. Um, but the dojo can also be a wrong place, an off place for me to be if it's not with the right people. So there's something about the the place as a geographic place, and the place as the people that's there. And I'm not sure if you can separate it. I think it kind of locks together in some kind of way. It feels like that.